Okay, what's this?
A circle.
Poverty. Circle. Is this a thing?
Yes.
Yes. Do you understand what the poverty circle is?
No.
Not really.
Not really.
Generation after generation after generation stays in poverty. Okay?
Poverty.
Poverty circle. No money. Okay? Why does that continue to happen?
Jobs. People are not able to have jobs.
Okay? It's easier to stay in the circle than it is to break out and have a tangent. By the way, cool math lesson. A tangent is a line off of a circle. That may come in helpful one of these days.
Makes it not
Geometry.
It's
Okay?
awful.
Poverty. Generation after generation after generation stays in poverty. It's easy. Our system that we have, government-wise, has set it up for us to be in poverty. Okay? We have a free market system, which is the only way to get out of poverty, but our government, the way it's set up with food stamps, EBT cards, the welfare system, it's actually, you can live successfully in the poverty circle. Okay? I mean, you get free phones. And we have a lot of good government housing in Paragould. Okay? So, it's easy to stay in this circle. The quality of life is not very good. Okay? What else is in the circle? Crime, drugs, okay? All live in this poverty circle. Okay? What does it take to get out of the poverty circle? Hard work and determination. Can you break out of the poverty circle?
Yes.
Yes. And I wanted to bring this up. I've never brought it up before in class, but I wanted to bring it up to try to inspire you to get out of this circle if you're in it. Okay? If you're in it, you probably know you're in it. I don't want to know if you are or not. But you can get out of this. Okay? Let me give you a story. Okay? My dad grew up in poverty. His mom grew up in poverty. Her mom grew up in poverty. Okay? My great-grandma Cora had 12 kids. No husband around. Okay? Husband would come and go. Okay? They lived in poverty. That was during the Great Depression. In poverty. Okay? My Meemaw grew up in poverty. She had 11 brothers and sisters. Okay? I mean, they had a great life. They enjoyed their life. They had fun, but they lived in poverty. They worked hard, but they were still in poverty. Okay? My Meemaw had 3 kids. All right? 3 kids. The husband left. She moved around back and forth. Y'all know where Mary Street is? Mary Street is on the tracks on the east side of town. They lived in Mary Street. And they moved back and forth. She had 3 kids, my dad and my uncle and my aunt. The circle continued. They had to live on food stamps for a while. Okay, but they worked hard. And eventually, by my Meemaw working hard, she pulled her 3 kids out of the poverty circle. And she is out of the poverty circle now. So my dad, my aunt, and my uncle are out of this. My Meemaw's out of the poverty circle. They decided through hard work and determination to jump out of that. Okay? So I'm the first one in my family, my generation is the first one that has not lived in poverty. Okay? I've been out here on this tangent with mom and dad who got married and didn't have anything that worked their way up. They lived on bologna and cheese for 10 years and then paid for their house with cash money. Okay? They didn't have a mortgage, accruing interest. Okay? So I consider myself very lucky, and a lot of you are probably in my case. You haven't had to be in this circle where you're eating beef tongue by the case. Because that's what they had to eat. Okay? Or eating whatever they could catch, or whatever, was on sale. Okay? I hope you're in this path. Can you go right back to this?
Yes.
Yes, you can do that. Okay? It only takes a couple slip-ups for you to be in the circle again. Okay? So be very careful. You don't want to be here. Okay? There's a lot of people that are satisfied in this circle. Do not be in this circle. Work hard and be determined, and you can pull out of that.
About what percentage of people in Arkansas do you think are in that circle?
Pretty good percent. I do not keep up with that anymore. When I was in high school, we had this big thing called the Big Green County Food Fight, and we focused on that and how many kids are in poverty. And it'll surprise you how many kids are growing up in poverty in Green County. Okay, but with hard work and determination, you can get out of that. My dad doesn't have a college degree. My Meemaw doesn't have a college degree. My Meemaw got her GED after she had 3 kids. Okay. Through hard work and determination, they pulled out of that. All right? And a lot of our brothers and sisters did too.
That's what
Okay? So, please be progressive and be careful. You don't want to be in this. If you're in this right now, don't be satisfied with that. You can have a better life. Okay, let me go down here. We'll start talking about the Ramsey plan.
How do you like go into it?
Gordon Ramsay.
How do you fall into this?
Yeah.
Okay, not working, no drive, no determination, fall into drugs, fall into the wrong crowd. Okay,
Okay, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Play Roblox.
not being wise with your money one of these days, not having insurance and disability insurance, and let's say you get hurt, okay, which is what the welfare system is there for.
A relationship.
A relationship. So let's say you get hurt and you don't have insurance. Okay, you can fall into this when you're trying so hard not to. So you got to be careful. Okay, let me make sure I can see this down here. Okay. So here's the success plan, and we'll get more into this tomorrow too. But the success plan. This is the Ramsey plan. I'm not trying to steal this stuff, but I am trying to say that that dude knows what he's doing. Okay. I follow Dave Ramsey. He is a Christian financial advisor. Okay. He's written several books. I've read his books. He makes sense. All right. So this is his plan. Now, one thing that's not in his plan is go to work. Okay. He doesn't really mention it, but go to work is step one. Okay. If you're not going to work, you cannot be successful. It even says in the best-selling book of all time, you should go to work. Okay. Look up the best-selling book of all time. All right. Step one, $1,000. Build it. Save whatever you can. Sell whatever you can. This is your emergency fund in case the transmission goes out in your vehicle. Okay? $1,000. That's the key number. After that, pay off all debt. Do y'all have any debt?
No.
No.
Not yet.
That's the reason I want to tell you this right now is because you don't have any debt. It's easier to avoid debt than it is to get rid of it. Okay? You saw the debt of a house, right? Over 30 years, it's going to double or triple. Okay, what you're going to pay. The next step, save 36 months salary. Why would you want to have cash on hand in the bank?
What if something
Because you don't have to go in
happens?
debt with the credit card.
In case COVID happens, in case you can't, you lose your job. For some reason you get fired or they just don't need you anymore. You get laid off.
So you save money to 6 months, basically.
You save enough salary, so if you're making $24,000 a year, you would need $12,000 in the bank in case you lost your job.
Oh, okay.
Okay? That's not money to spend. That's money to have sitting there in case you need it. Okay? In case you lose your
want
job.
to give it to your kids or something.
Do what?
Like if you die and you want to give it to your kids or something.
We're going to get to that down here. Okay? 36 months salary, that's to protect you. First, you protect yourself financially. And then you save for a down payment on a house. The next step 4, invest 15% of your income in retirement because one of these days you're going to want to retire, right?
Yeah.
You're not even working yet. Right? You're not even working on your career. But I'm telling you, that when you start your career at 18, you know how old are you? 15?
14.
14.
14, 15?
Yeah.
Think in 3 years you're going to be 18. In 3 years, some of you are going to be going to college. Some of you are going to be going to work. Right? Start thinking about that. Start thinking about your career like we did last week. Job applications, resumes. You're going to start your career quicker than what you think. But you don't want to work forever. And one of these days, you're going to get too old to work. And you're going to want to retire. That's the reason you have to save for your retirement. The next step, step 5, college fund. Do y'all have kids yet?
No.
I hope not. Okay. But a college fund is important. By the time my little girl's going to be in college, the college... Right now, it's like it costs $40,000 for a cheap 4-year degree. That's going to be as much as $100,000 in 18 years, or $120,000 if it keeps growing like it has been growing. Okay, so college is going to be extremely expensive. You don't want to hand your kids off to college and them have to deal with all this debt. Okay, you want to try to set them up better than that. Step 6 is pay off house. And step 7 is build wealth and give. Giving is a very important part. Throughout this, we need to be giving the entire time, at least 10% of income. But at the end, you can be giving. And tomorrow, we'll talk more about personal budgets and how to make money and build wealth. Okay? So questions?
No.
Questions? And tomorrow, we'll talk about Leroy Kirby advice, how to turn $40 into $400 in 1 week. And do you want to earn $1 million?
Yes.
Yes, I want to buy a Bugatti.
Okay.
Actually, if you, okay,
Robux
isn't it
counts.
right? Okay, so you know those things that you can win like $1 million.